Hi. By now, I hope I'm a familiar face to many of you, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm school committee person Emily Lebo, and I'm asking for your vote to re-elect me on November 2nd. I'm sure you've all experienced lots of challenges and difficulties in your lives during the pandemic. Well, our children and families have had their own difficulties, which is why I decided to run for re-election. I believe the families of Quincy deserve an experienced and invested person to help lead the way to a new normal school life. First, I'd like to tell you how invested I am in the Quincy Public Schools and its children. Every child deserves a quality education, and I believe it's the responsibility of the school committee to make sure we provide it. I'm running to do just that. I have no further political ambitions other than to serve on the school committee. On a personal level, I'm invested in the school system for 7 wonderful reasons. My 7 grandchildren, all 6 of whom are old enough, attend the Quincy Public Schools. My husband Stu and I are very proud of the fact that we've lived in Quincy for 46 years. But what makes me happiest of all is that our 3 sons and their wives all chose to settle their families here in Quincy too. And one son even runs a small business here in town. For many years, our family has been involved in school PTOs, youth sports, and community organizations. So now you know that I am invested. And about experience? Well, if you've seen my literature, you know hands down I'm the most experienced candidate running. I've been serving on the school committee for the past 10 years, always looking to do my best for the children and educators of Quincy. Currently, I hold licenses as both a Massachusetts teacher and a superintendent director. I've kept these licenses up to date because I continue to work in the education field as a consultant to schools and districts, dealing mainly with the reporting requirements for the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. With my background and experience, I've written successful grants for Quincy, Boston, and vocational schools in the area, all worth millions of dollars. To do this job in the school committee well, I believe you must be a good communicator, so I often look for input from families, students, and educators. During the pandemic, more than any other time, I heard from families about how their children were doing, and as I've been knocking on doors throughout the city, I've been hearing from parents and taxpayers about their hopes for our schools. This only confirmed to me the importance of listening and always taking into consideration your voices when I make decisions on your behalf. I'm also proud of my accomplishments while serving on the school committee. Recently, I chaired a task force on updating our homework policy. We collected input from parents, educators, and students, which created a policy that allowed teachers more control over homework and ensured that family time would be improved. Additionally, about a year ago, I learned there was a strong desire to add authors from diverse cultures to the high school curriculum. So I asked for a meeting, and with the help of students and educators, a list of recommended titles was compiled. I brought the recommendations to the superintendent to ensure funding for this proposal would be in place, and it was. Now, all good educators know that in addition to a strong, solid educational framework, we must take care of our children's social and emotional needs. We want our children to develop healthy identities, to be able to manage emotions, to feel and share empathy for others, and to make responsible and caring decisions. With social media, our students are being flooded with images and information that no adult has ever had to deal with. This year, I'm very proud that we'll have restorative justice practices in place. This teaches school communities to resolve conflicts on their own and in small groups and find ways to move forward peacefully. With the schools committee urging, Dove has agreed to deliver their Youth Speaks curriculum, which deals with healthy relationships and abuse prevention. They'll be doing this in all our middle schools and high schools starting this year. We have also developed a relationship walker. They specialize in emotional wellness and will bring in supports for mental health to our schools. To coordinate all of this, I felt there was a strong need to have health educators in the schools, so I championed the reinstatement of health educators at both middle school and high school levels. And I'm pleased to report that beginning this past September, they're now fully in place. Looking to the future, my priorities will be to maintain our robust academic and technical offerings and to identify and address any learning loss that occurred during the pandemic. I'd like to do this while ensuring we have a comprehensive social-emotional learning curriculum in all our schools. I want you to know I'm deeply committed to our city, our families, and our schools. I'd love to continue to do this very important work, and with your help, I will. I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.